are live, and we have landed right here at Third Phase of Moon. Everybody, welcome to the show. We are broadcasting live, and it is my pleasure to be here with you tonight in regards to taking calls from the public. The UFO phenomenon, it's happening right now. And you're listening to Paul Barrett's brand new song that he just shared with us. And if you want to give us a shout out on what we should call it, let me know. Let me know in the comments. We're still wanting to title Paul Barrett's new song. But by the way, everybody, we're going to be broadcasting Monday night too. We broadcast on Monday nights, Third Phase of Moon Radio, taking your calls from around the world. I want to make sure everybody's joining us right here, checking out the flash chat. Looks quite busy. The phone lines are building up. The number to call in is 347-934-0378. A lot of videos coming into our Third Phase of Moon YouTube channel. I suggest everybody catch up. If you haven't, go back, take a look at last week's archive. There's a lot of incredible videos. One that stands out to me is this massive cylindrical shaped object. It looks quite big. A cigar-shaped UFO of what ufologists would call this one. It happened like shortly right after the 8.0 earthquake off the Solomon Islands, and we're still trying to reach out to the person who shot the video. He is still down in regards to communications, but whatever he captured on his video, just moments after the earthquake, he captured something quite incredible. All right, now let's get to it. Let's bring in the callers. I see that people want to call in from looks like Flip It For You wants to call in. He's going to be calling on area code 508. I don't see him on the switchboard yet, but okay, let's get to the callers right now.
Hello.
3, 1. Hello, you there? Uh-oh. Okay, we're going to move on. Let's see who we got here. Let's move to 9. Let's go 952. 952, you there? Hello.
In different ways, whether it's because of her story, whether it's because she's a woman, whether it's because they love football, or they want to learn more about football, whatever the reason might be.
All right, 952. I don't know. I hear some kind of heavy breathing going on that end. Okay, let's bring in 508. Let's go to Boston. Is this Flip It For You?
Yes, it is, Blake. Good evening.
Wow. Hey, thanks for joining us tonight, man. You've been following Third Phase of Moon. You're here every Friday, Monday night for the past few years. Welcome to the show. I guess you wanted to share something that was quite incredible and happened just moments ago over there in Boston?
Well, it happened a few hours ago. I'd say it was exactly 6:20 when I left my house to bring my nephew to basketball. I stepped out of the house, and like I always do, I looked up to gaze at the moon, and I noticed these two bright stars to the left of the moon, say at the 7 o'clock position or so, 7, 8 o'clock position. They were a little bit away from the moon, and the two stars were aligned in a diagonal shape, I guess, and they were very bright. And I said to as I was approaching the car, I looked at them, and then I got to the car, and I said, well, let me line those up with the telephone pole wires so I can see if they're moving or not. So I did, and lo and behold, they weren't moving, and I was like, okay, good, they're stars. So I jumped in the car, and my nephew, who's 9, got in the car with me. I said, hey, Nathan, did you see those two stars near the moon? And he's like, no, why? I go, take a look. And he goes, wow, those are bright, huh? And I said, yeah, they could be planets, I'm not sure. He said, let me pull up my sky map. So I grabbed my phone, and my first instinct was to take a picture, and I wished I took the picture first. So I take out the phone, I open the sky map, and it opens up for me, but wouldn't calibrate. So you have to kind of shake it around to get it to calibrate, and it wouldn't do so. And my nephew says to me, Chris, they're gone. I said, what? I looked up, and they were gone. They weren't planes, because I watched them, with the wires there, and I watched them for a minute. They were stationary, and it was only, 3 to 5 seconds from the last peek I took at them, and they weren't around the moon anywhere, and they just disappeared. I don't know what they were. It was amazing. I can't explain it.
Well, you know what, Chris? There's so much. Yeah, that's amazing. And what's amazing too is the UFO sightings. When people are looking up at the moon, there's been a lot of activity. We've had the supermoon, we've had the blood moon, and everybody's been looking up at the moon. And we've had a lot of videos coming in from people from around the world capturing weird anomalies next to the moon. Next to the moon, these craft, in my opinion, they're large. They're really massive in size. How big would you say these objects were?
They looked exactly like stars. And the space in between them was probably, if I was to use the moon as a graph, I would say you could fit maybe 6 or 8 moons between them. So they were quite a distance apart from each other. And you could tell they were together, just by the way they were. And it was just incredible. They looked like stars or planets. That's exactly what they looked like, just, bright stars. And they disappeared, and I was floored. And my nephew, the whole ride to his practice, he was like, "My heart's beating so fast, I can't believe I saw a UFO."
Nice. That's perfect. You have somebody there with you, your nephew. You pick them up, and then you both experience this incredible event. And it sounds like you can't explain what it was. So definitely, they were UFOs up there, and they definitely weren't stars. Was it a clear night where no clouds in sight? Could have maybe a cloud blocked the view of the star?
Right. No, it was clear. And I consider myself, kind of an expert sky watcher because I've been watching for so long. And I know my surroundings and I know what to look for and so forth and so on. And that's why I pulled out my sky map. I'm like, what planets could those be? I know Venus is out there and all the other planets that are out at certain times of the night. So that's why I pulled out the sky map, and then as soon as I pulled it out and I go to look, my nephew says, "They're gone." And I flipped out. I'm like, what? They can't be gone. And I looked, and there was just a blank spot where they were. Unbelievable.
Perfect. That's what I've been suggesting for years, this Sky Map app. It's for free, and if you have a UFO sighting that you might think, hey, this isn't a star, then bring out your Sky Map app, point at it, and see if you could establish what star it is. And if it's not on the sky chart map, then it's something else. Right?
Yeah, I use that all the time, even just because I'm not a scholar, so, I got to reference things. But I just had to share that. I was glad it happened on a Friday night when I knew the show was coming on. I was like, I can at least tell the boys from Third Phase and get some opinions. I was thinking in the lines of the Sphere Being Alliance. I don't know if you've heard about the Sphere Being Alliance, where there's, certain spheres protecting the Earth. I'm not sure if I believe it, but it is something I've read, and that is the only thing I can think of. But it was very strange, and thank you for taking my call.
Something to consider. And Chris, one quick question: is it a car that you were in, or was it a car? How do you think?
I was in the car.
Yes. It's totally straight out of Jaws, man. You have what's his name? Brody. You got Brody's accent there. Awesome. Not far from the yacht. Far from the yacht, man. All right. Well, this is good stuff. This is what it's all about. People sharing their experiences. And this was just hot off the press, I would say. This is within hours. People are calling in of a UFO sighting, and they want to share it right here at Third Phase Moon. Okay, everybody, stand by. This is Blake Cousins, and this is Paul Barrett's brand new song. Let's give it a name. Let's give it a name tonight. I want to give this album a name, and everybody, hold on. We're going to get to a lot of callers tonight. We just got started.
Control, this is Flight. We have landed on the moon.
All right, we're back. We're live right here at Third Phase Moon, everybody. Wow, people have already came up with some cool titles for this track that Paul Barrett has given to us. You can check out his music on iTunes, but some people are coming up with the Third Moon Descent. Maybe we could call it the Third Moon Descent. This is coming in from the Bone Throne, or let's see, we have one from Kayoko, number 1. They suggest Utopia. And then we also have, I like this one, Space Groove. That came in from Billy Hassel. Thanks, guys. I think we're going to narrow it down to those 4 suggestions. Good stuff, people. Good stuff. All right, let's get to the callers. Let's bring them in. Let's go to an anonymous caller there. It's not anonymous, unlisted number. Hello, you there?
Hello.
Hi there. How you doing tonight, sir?
Here. You know, the aliens created Roblox and dank memes.
The aliens created what? You're coming in a little choppy, sir.
Roblox and dank memes.
What does this mean? What does this mean?
They make memes to brainwash our youth. Also, subscribe to Pyrocynical on YouTube.
All right, sir. Well, you're coming in a little choppy. Okay, he just dropped out. He just dropped out. Whatever that means, I have no idea. Okay, let's get to this. 571. Hello. Welcome to Third Phase of Moon. Hello, 571. You there? Five 7-1 is gone. That's a lot of callers. If you want to say something, you got to be fast. 585. We're live, Third Phase Moon. How you doing tonight?
Hey, Blake, it's me, Jose, again. How you doing?
What's up, Jose? How you doing, man? How you doing tonight? What's going on?
Question. Yeah, good, man. I just wanted to ask you a question because there was a recent video that was posted on YouTube that was about a guy that supposedly admits that he was the one that gave the fatal blow to John F. Kennedy, and he was the one that really shot John F. Kennedy. I don't know if you ever heard of James Files. Just wanted you to look into that, see what you think.
So do you think, what do you think happened to Kennedy? Do you think Oswald was a patsy?
Yeah. The way this, I think so. I think so. It kind of concludes, you know. I guess. And suggestion for the song, "The Eagle Has Landed."
What was that? I missed that last question.
The suggestion to your song, I put it as a title as in "The Eagle Has Landed."
The Eagle Has Landed. Wow. Thanks, Jose. That's pretty good. That's some really good titles. I got a feeling Paul Barrett's going to be working on all kinds of tracks after he gets all these cool titles tonight. I'm going to be sharing that with him. Wow, that's cool. And Paul Barrett, he's from Europe, and he's such an awesome musician and a contributor right here at Third Phase Moon. I think his music is kind of like this, just the feeling of Third Phase. Love the tracks. Okay, we got another unlisted phone number. We're going to give them a chance. Hello, you there?
How you doing, Blake?
Hey, F1, how you doing tonight? Hold on a second. You got something?
First, I wanted to say something real quick. I'm sorry about having the date wrong on the CERN incident. I didn't have any idea how many people were so angry that I had the date wrong. But I think the point is this, not so much the date, but the content. And, you know, if that's a made-up story, somebody really has a wild imagination and an incredible ability to make up this story, because they had a lot of the facts that since then I have confirmed, because I felt bad that I had the date wrong. But the other thing that I wanted to say is that, are you aware of the comet that's coming through as close as it's ever been on a horizontal plane between the sun and the earth, and it is increasing the wobble right now, and also that there is a solar coronal hole, supposedly, and there's like a huge ship that is just sitting right there by it on the sun.
F1. Who's the source to this? Who's the source? Can you reveal who the source is? Where'd you hear about this?
Well, I first saw it, and then before I was very careful this time to make sure that I could cross-reference it. And on the NASA channel, they're actually definitely referencing that there is a coronal hole and that it is spewing out all types of energy, and it might start the pattern or process of the sun dying. And you can see definitely that the sun is going up and down on a fixed camera on the horizon of a sunset recording. And yesterday,
but do you really think the sun's dying, F1? I don't think so. I got a feeling it's going to be around for another 4 or 5 billion years before it dies or has any kind of supernova action. That's for sure.
No.
Okay, this is I want to get the public. We'll get F1 back, but I want to get into callers. We got to get them in. 571. Hello, you're live. Third Phase of Moon.
Hello, how are you?
Doing pretty good. How about yourself, sir? Where are you calling in from? What's your name?
I'm calling from Manassas. I called you last Friday, remember, from MUFON?
You work for MUFON?
Yeah, remember I told you about the Roslyn incident and the probability of why UFOs are here? Do you remember that conversation, sir?
Well, I guess. I know that there's a UFO phenomenon out there, and there's a lot of flying objects out there that we can't explain. Can you be a little bit more specific? What do you do exactly at MUFON, sir?
I'm a private investigator for suspicious activity. It's on the border of what police do, but we only investigate. We literally go out to the scene of the area of the reporters that said it. We literally spend hours, money, and our time to investigate in what the person has said, if it has been true. We did a recent one at the tsunami Japan place, and that was last week, and we found some things that were, to human nature power, unrealistic, because the tsunami or the earthquake that should have caused a 10,000 to a world record breaking tsunami actually was stopped by a cliff that was forced by something that did not budge, if that makes any sense. So the crack underneath the Pacific Ocean, that's where it occurred, about 300 miles down below, something that we can't explain stopped the crack from being a lot bigger. Does that make sense, sir?
Well, it does. But again, where are you getting this information? How do you know this stuff?
From our instruments, a 8.1 was recorded from the the earthquake analogy system and other resources, I should say, to be safe, have said similar counters. If to calculate how big this tsunami would have been if it existed, which it did exist, but it wasn't the calculation that existed. It would have literally wiped out more than half of the area of the city that's the closest to the earthquake, which they had no connections to the earthquake, meaning they would have not even known that it would have started earthquake. So it was like all of a sudden type scenario. We've also studied back in the 10 years, our team, the Roslyn incident. The only reason that it has been super silent and not effective on being realistic is because the absurdity of realism that people do not believe in these days, like, and you should already know this, that NASA, if they find things that aren't human, whether they're animals on the planet or scientists that spiders, like 2 years ago, luminescent spiders that literally glowed in the dark, underwater pressures that would have killed us. We found them through a scuba.
Yeah, but wow. You really work for MUFON. It sounds like you work almost for, basically you're a geologist, you're tracking earthquakes, and now we're talking about sea creatures that humans wouldn't be able to live in under these deep pressures. Okay, all right. Now, you got to tell me something. You got to tell me something new here, sir. You got to tell me something new, or I got to get some more callers.
You're saying that you wanted me to tell you something new?
Well, yeah. You can you give me the city where? Okay, so basically, you're saying there's some kind of alien intervention that basically stopped a catastrophe from the recent 8.0 earthquake off the Solomon Islands.
Correct.
In a city. Okay, what? Okay, I kind of concur. You know, an 8.0 is a pretty massive earthquake, and in most cases, it doesn't take much more than a 7.6 to cause a tsunami. So where was the tsunami is the question. Was there a diversion? Well, that's a good question.
Well, the reason why we're saying it's a diversion is because of the evidence we found under the depths of the rocks that were occurring in the time frame of the area, but south of the area, we found something that was totally different that could have played in the role of the earthquake, but we can't connect it as in the earthquake because of the scientific that we came up with doesn't make sense because this is the scientific analysis we went through, but if you know anything about science, it doesn't make any sense. When an earthquake happens, lava from 3 million to 200 miles below your surface above, human surface, like we call it, rumbles and, does a lot of other things below the surface that cannot be explained. Well, it can be explained, but different things. We think that there is lava flow in that area below the sea level of the Pacific Ocean, but the calculations are very fishy because we can't pinpoint where it's coming from below the sea level. Also, we found that instead of the crack being 6 miles long, it was 10 miles deep and 20 miles longer than the average crack above the sea level. So sea level would have been...
Okay, got it. All right, there's a thing called the Ring of Fire, and it is pretty much surrounding the whole entire Pacific Ocean. It's very active, and it's plate tectonics. Things are shifting, things are getting hot, and things start to grind, and they start to pop and sizzle, and that's what earthquakes are. I didn't know that MUFON now we're working with seismologists. I'm not exactly sure if they're oceanographers. It sounds like this guy. I don't know. Got to move on. Wow. Okay. 706. We're live. Third Phase of Moon. How you doing tonight?
I'm really good. How are you, Sophia? How are you?
Hey, Sophia. Wow. Do you think that guy works for MUFON?
I'm not sure. I think he has a little bit of knowledge. There were actually 32 earthquakes in the Solomon Islands, ranging from 4.3 to 8.1. The depth of the largest one was 10 kilometers. There is a ridge that has shifted under there. They know that. And it's part of what you were saying, the big picture, the Ring of Fire is very hot. Things are happening. Things are pretty much, they were going in a counterclockwise motion, and now they're going clockwise. And it's got a few people upset because it means that there's going to be a lot more geological movement of the plates. They're worried about California because if they keep hitting our coast, it's going to set them off in Southern California pretty bad. They're also worried about Yellowstone because there's a giant chamber of magma under there, and they know it's a volcano, and they're worried about that going up. If all the magma is this hot, this is what they're looking, unfortunately, to see happen. The other crazy thing, and I can see MUFON being interested in this, with all the quake activity and shifting and things like that, the UFO activity is at an all-time high, and they're trying to explain it now. This is historical, all the way back to when people started reporting about volcanoes. They would see strange lights in the sky above the areas. And in modern times, they not only see that, but they also see magnetometers going off the charts. But then they have actual reported sightings of UFOs, and they have them on film. So can draw some conclusions from that. It very well may be that they're trying to help us. Their technology is way more advanced than ours, so we have no clue really. Or if we do, how do I put this? The explanations for it may be so far over our head, we're just letting them work, okay? The sun, there is a coronal malformation going on, but it's not something that they haven't seen in the past also. It just means that there's a lot of gamma radiation coming at us right now. And it's a little bit different from a sunspot. It's actually ejection of gamma radiation at high speeds, and that's what that is.
Well, yeah. So the sun isn't going to be dying anytime soon. Most scientists pretty much say it's 4 to 5 billion years. So there's a lot of scare tactics out there. A slight wobble. Right. So, but I do believe that there are beings out there that could harness the powers of stars, such as our own sun.
I agree.
And we've had we've had a lot of evidence coming in from NASA. They have SOHO, and they capture incredible imagery of the sun. But then again, they're capturing extraterrestrial craft that are massive, and it really does appear to me that they are harnessing the energy. It's pretty much undeniable.
Exactly. Any light energy can be transferred. Tesla himself used to talk about this. I mean, it's not unknown science. There are companies out there right now who are trying to work on Tesla's theories and actually put them into practice. And you'll start seeing this stuff come up in the near future. Anytime you use solar radiation and you make energy from it, that's like the Stone Age for us. Okay, but for them, think about what they can do with it. I mean, absorption of solar radiation can be done in different ways. Tesla was building towers to use electromagnetic energy from lightning, and he wanted to cover the whole Earth in towers and, harness that. lightning is not that too much different than solar radiation in that it's more intense and it's instantaneous. So think about that. There's just so much technology out there, and we've been learning in baby steps. And a lot of it has been coming from ET, literally. So that's what that's
Sophia,
about.
Lots to think about, no doubt. And what do you think about MUFON and the infiltration recently? Well, not recently, maybe about a year and a half ago with Bigelow Aerospace and Bigelow offering them about $750,000 for the information for the year he paid them out, and he wanted all the information that came into MUFON, and he wanted it directly put to him before it basically went public. He put out $750,000. Now, basically, Bigelow's said he might have found what he was looking for. He's a true believer in UFOs. He's one of the biggest investors into space exploration. He actually has the right to weaponize outer space. This guy has his own agenda. He actually has his own rocket in case there is some kind of Armageddon event where he could escape with his small family and get into outer space and escape some kind of calamity. This guy's pretty heavy duty, and he paid out MUFON a lot of money. Can we ever trust MUFON again?
No, and I don't think we ever could. Not even from the beginning. I think that he's heavily affiliated with the governments of the world. And I think MUFON has been a front all the way around. It's a misdirection. You know? You got to think about what's really going on and who knows what about who. And the powers that be, and I'm not talking about our government, I'm talking about all of them around the world, don't want what they really know, and this is why disclosure is so big for some people, and I agree about that. So, yeah, there's a lot of misdirection, you know, a lot. Way more, it's very deep, and it goes way beyond anything we think about every day, you know. And
absolutely.
I know,
and, you know, it's quite interesting right here at Third Phase Moon. It's like we just take calls, and we take the public's information and evidence, and we share it to the public, and we let really the public decide it. Every time I pick up a phone right here live, there's no filters. We don't screen any calls, and I guarantee you MUFON would never do that publicly in front of everybody in real time.
Exactly.
It would be that's not what their agenda is. They really they're in it for themselves.
Right. They're looking for the Holy Grail. I mean, ET is not so stupid as to give any government or any principality the whole ball of wax, you know, the whole enchilada. Pick and choose what we all know. And if you really want to know who's in control, it's them. They've been working with humankind for eons. And I mean, I'm not joking, eons, millions of years. And it's just we're controlled, period, the end. And someday that's going to change, and it's going to be sooner than later, but it's not going to be by any government. It's going to be by them. See what I'm saying? And so you got whole factions of people out there scanning the skies, looking for evidence, enlisting the aid of everyday people to try to grab the Holy Grail of it. And MUFON does have field reps that are, what's the word I'm looking for? Volunteer. Okay, and he may be part of that faction, but he's not talking from knowledge. He's talking from what he hears on the side. You know, he's doing very top layer searching on his own, so to speak.
Well, let's bring him in.
Let's bring him
in. Actually, I think he's still with us. Is this the employee? Are you still there, the MUFON worker?
Yeah, I'm still here. I'm listening to what she's saying. She's 100% correct on what she is totally saying about this situation. I've been listening to her conversation, sir. I am a volunteer. I do not have many skills that the MUFON people do have. We do have many departments, and one small department is volunteer work, but you have to have certain skills that they would accept.
Okay. Well, that makes a lot of sense. That makes some sense. People are enthusiasts, and they want to find out. They want to find out the truth. So that's inspiring in its own way. So that's good news, in my opinion. But you got to watch out who you're volunteering your work for. Right. Your services. It's
yeah.
I heard that some people are saying right here in the Flash Chat that the CIA is part of MUFON. From what I've heard, like the Weekly World News, they were the founders of the National Enquirer, and the Weekly World News had those headlines with Bat Boy or Bill Clinton shaking hands with an alien being, and these guys were CIA ops that started the whole thing. So I know that for a fact. I've spoken with the founders of that work for these guys, and he absolutely confirmed it. So is MUFON maybe just kind of like an outfit where in case they did come across the Holy Grail and the public wanted to submit it, that they're gonna, once they find it, they're gonna keep it for themselves, right? In my opinion.
Yep. Yeah, exactly. It's whoever possesses the knowledge possesses everything, and it's always been like that, even in human nature. If I have all the marbles, I have all the marbles. I can deal them out as I want, and that's exactly what's going on. And that's the last thing ET wants to see happen to us, okay? Because we've proven that human nature can go the wrong way, seriously the wrong way, and that's not what they're about. They would like to see us progress and become enlightened and move through different types of knowledge and become what we potentially can become. And we're having a hard time right now with that, literally.
Yeah, it's quite interesting. There was a time about maybe 5 years ago when we first started doing Third Phase of Moon, the radio show. And the word was getting out that we were looking for the truth and sharing people's evidence and all this stuff. And this man reached out to me, and he said he was working on an anti-gravity machine, and he was about to fly me and Brent to a certain state in the mainland, and he was going to take us to the facility. And the whole thing was, how were we going to document this whole scenario, and then how were we going to release it to the world? And we figured out a plan. We figured out how we're going to do this. And I don't know what happened to the fella. He seemed really legitimate. I swear, I was thinking, man, this is going to be big. This is going to be big. And let me tell you, if we do come across the Holy Grail right here at Third Phase of Moon, I take an oath that we will share it to the public, and it will never be suppressed. We'll have to figure out how we're going to get it out fast. And that's what's so great about Third Phase of Moon. We could put out a video on YouTube and get hundreds of thousands of views within days, but still, you never know. You just even never know at the top. So we'd have all their alternative ways to getting out this information. And I got a feeling that we've had a lot of people that called in, including yourself, Sophia, that has some really good intelligence. But wow, we got to get some solid Holy Grail stuff.
Yeah. Yes. I have a feeling that you're going to have the Holy Grail call you one night. Somebody is out there who's willing to, with knowledge, willing to share with you. I think it's coming to that. And I keep waiting for it, literally, to happen.
Okay, Sophia. Well, you keep in touch, and appreciate your insight tonight right here at Third Phase Moon. It's been a really pleasure speaking with you tonight. Amazing.
You too. Okay.
Wow, good caller. Good call. Sophia, I appreciate her insight again. It's just quite amazing stuff. She's welcome back anytime. All right, let's get to area code 317. Thank you for waiting. You're live, Third Phase of Moon. Hello.
Hi, Blake.
Hey, how's it going? What's your name?
It's Monica. Just listening in.
All right, Monica. Well, appreciate you listening in. Appreciate that. All right, let's people like to just listen in. Can't blame them. Third Phase Moon Radio is pretty about as amazing as live radio gets. 605, you're live. Third Phase Moon. Welcome to the show. $605. Okay.
Hello?
Somebody says, oh, okay. Let's see. Hey there. How you doing tonight?
Hello?
Gotcha. How you doing?
Just want to talk about how people are, I think people are confused about how UFOs and aliens and coming from other planets. I really, truly believe that what we're seeing are actually demonic entities, and I believe that they've been around for recorded history. And I just really don't get how people try to make it seem like they're coming from planet light years away and things like that. I just can't believe that.
Well, hold on a sec. Hold on. Isn't it infinite universe basically goes on for infinity? We've already discovered thousands, if not millions, of planets that could possibly harness life. What makes you think that these that there's no life out there?
Well, I'm not saying there ain't no life out there, but I'm just saying what we're seeing here on this planet is what I feel like is interdimensional. I mean, if we discovered, you know, all these planets way out there in the solar, you know, light years away, I mean, we haven't seen any signs of life yet, right? But
well, yeah, that's what they're telling us. That's what they're telling us. That's necessarily, I believe, all the information coming in from the major media. But hold on a sec. I understand. You're saying I might be confused about this whole thing. Trust me, I'm not confused about anything. I have an open mind, and let me tell you that I do believe that there is possibilities that there are interdimensional beings. There's possible demonic entities around as well. You know, there's the good and the bad. But there are also
I think that's all tied into, you know, like the supernatural things that go on, like, you know, like Ghost Adventures and stuff. You know how they film like these little balls of lights and little knocking sounds. I think all of that is like tied into that one, you know, that one thing, and that one thing is just like these supernatural beings. You know what I mean? And I'm not saying that there ain't no life way out there, because you know I believe that, you know, there's a whole bunch of creation, but I just think specifically here on Earth what we're seeing is, you know, either angelic or demonic.
Well, you know, there's both sides to that opinion, and we've been down this conversation quite a bit of times. And basically, the conclusion that we've come to right here at Third Phase Moon, and most people that follow us right here believe that extraterrestrials and demonic and angelic beings are totally different situations, and they could be confused sometimes. They could be confused. So, is there a God out there? Is there a devil? Yeah, probably. Maybe. I'm not exactly sure. One of these days, we'll all find out. Or maybe not. Maybe not. Maybe we live in a matrix. Elon Musk gives it a 50-50 chance that what we're experiencing right now, consciousness, is just a program, and we're all in a program. And sometimes when you crunch the numbers, crunch the physics, do the math, it might be that way. It might be that way. All right. We got a few minutes left. Let's get some more callers. Right. Let's see. A lot of people calling in tonight. Let's see. 512.
Hey.
What? Hi there. 512. We're live. Third Phase Moon. How you doing tonight?
Hey, how's it going, dude? I've been
doing good, man. Where are you calling in from?
Austin, Texas. But originally I had all these like weird experiences in like California, right? Like, see, and I had an experience here too, in Austin, but it started with like I was with a group of friends, and you know, just hanging out, youngsters, 15 years old, and I had that instant like, you know, when you look up or something, it's like you know, it's just that instinct. And I seen this like black disc with a faint red dot. It was just hovering over us. We were just in the backyard on the trampoline, and I never thought I would see one, you know? Hello?
Well, okay, hold on. You're playing in the backyard on a trampoline, and you see a black disc in the sky. And let me tell you, not everybody gets to see one of these every day. Tell me, were you
and
alone?
It was silent. No, I was with a bunch of friends. It was silent, and it started flying away. And it was in Pittsburgh, California. And
All right. What did your friends think? Did you guys go in a state of shock? Most people, in this case, just basically just.
Most of them didn't really.
Go ahead.
Yeah, it started flying away, and but it was just far enough. It was like the dark clouds, dark blue sky. It was just really odd. I think I was pretty much, I remember it, but like, I think one other person pointed it out, but no one really was like, okay, you know, everyone's not really open-minded like that, but I saw what I saw. And also, I was with a friend, and it was like this tall figure with the same like red faint thing, like, I don't know what it was, but it was in its hand. It was like tall, and it just appeared and ran and like disappeared behind a car. Me and my friend looked at each other and were like, what the heck? Did you just see that? And it had something that just linked to that like UFO. It's just weird stuff. And the other day, this dude that he mentioned like how he was half asleep but awake. Like I saw this like
Can
bright
you speak
gold
up a little
pathway.
bit? You're coming in a little soft, sir.
Sorry about that. I saw this path, like gold path, like in my room. Like I woke up. Usually I'm like kind of like freaked out or whatever at night, you know. But something was like I felt at ease and comfort. And this gold path, like light, it went to the computer room, into my room, all the way up to the wall. And something just put me back to sleep. Like usually I would be like, what the heck? Check it out. But yeah, that's pretty much like all the weird stuff that's kind of happened to me. Felt like a couple more other things. Like I felt a hand grab my ankle back in Cali. Like just weird stuff, you know?
Yeah, man. Somebody grabbing my ankle in an alley? Yeah, it freaked me out. Trust me. Okay, 804. We're live, Third Phase of Moon. How you doing tonight?
Hello?
Yeah, how's it going?
Hey, good. How are you, man?
Doing pretty good. Friday night, Third Phase Moon Radio. You know, a lot of callers tonight. A lot of callers. How you doing? Where are you calling in from, sir?
Good.
What's your name?
Yeah, thanks for taking my call. My name's Drew. I'm calling from Richmond, Virginia. But I just wanted to tell you a quick little story. I know you got a lot of callers. Back in October, my girlfriend and I were out back, you know, at night looking up in the sky. We both just tried to get like in a real positive frame of mind, you know. And I haven't seen a whole lot of UFOs before, but all of a sudden it looked like a star, like moving really slow, like way up high. It was way too high to be an airplane, and moving way too slow as well. But it just kept moving up across the sky. And I looked up to see if the International Space Station was passing that night, and it wasn't in that location. And it eventually just kind of disappeared, not like off in the horizon, but like kind of sort of more above us. It just disappeared, like, and it was a clear sky too. There was like no clouds or anything, so that was pretty wild, man. So I just remember like a really good feeling kind of coming from it, like a very elated kind of feeling seeing that. So just wanted to share that little story.
Well, you know what? I'm glad you did because, you know, we try and get as many calls in 1 hour as possible. And, man, you're the last caller to call in tonight, so appreciate you sharing that story. So you were with some friends at that time, right?
Yeah, my girlfriend and I, we were right back. She's seen a few UFOs herself, and I was just happy to finally get to see one myself. Definitely wasn't an airplane, definitely wasn't a space station, and actually we saw like a few more after that too, like another one the same night, and then another one a few nights later too. So I think if you go out there and like just project like good thoughts and get in a real good frame of mind, you know, and be kind of open to it, they'll tend to show up.
What's the closest military base next to you over there in Richmond?
Oh man, they're all over the place. This is a really heavily militarized area. I was actually kind of thinking like maybe it prevents some of these ETs from coming down too close, because, you know, shoot, I mean, I'd be afraid of getting shot down too if I was, you know, because, you know, our military is going to try to, you know, do whatever they can do. But, yeah, yeah, man, appreciate your show. Thanks for everything you're doing.
Hey, man, no problem, man. Thank you for sharing your sighting. And, you know, I got to feel in these military bases, there are wars going on above the skies, I'm sure, between some of the aliens out there, because they're not all good. But I got a feeling that there are some collaborative action going on. It's obvious. It's obvious that there's collaboration all around the world with the big governments from around the world. And I don't know why they aren't telling us they're here, but I got a feeling we're going to find out here real soon. Do you have a video camera, man? I got a feeling you're going to be seeing more action over there.
Yeah, I need to update my video camera. It's kind of older. Something a little bit newer to get a clearer shot for sure. But, yeah, actually...
Wait, you got a cell phone, right? You got a cell phone.
Yeah.
They shoot in 4K. They're pretty damn good. Get ready, man. Things are happening. I appreciate the caller, and I appreciate everybody who joined us tonight on Third Phase of Moon Radio, because, wow, it's been quite amazing. You just never know who you're going to deal with, where people are going to be calling in from, and it's my humble pleasure to do so every Friday and Monday night. So join me this Monday. We're going to be doing it again live, everybody. Same time, everybody. Join me. Thanks, Billy. Thanks, Brandon, Devin, Flip It. Thank you, guys. Thanks, Just Listen, Joe, Joseph, Kayoko, Lisa, The Bone Throne, and Kordamu for joining us on the Flash Chat this evening. Stay tuned for more updates on our Third Phase Moon channel. Keep your eyes on the skies, everybody. You know what? We're not alone.